Young people, we were prepared to march today. We should be prepared to march tomorrow. And we should be prepared to continue to march for social justice. Young people, we are at a point in history where our voices are being depended upon by those who do not have the privilege that we have, who do not have the education that we have, the opportunities that we have, for those who are not able to be here with us, but who are with us. We use our voice at sporting events. We use our voice to cheer entertainment. But I would submit to you that we have principles to defend that deserve our loudest voice. Principles to defend in the name of justice. That justice is not just a word. Justice is a term that does get thrown around, but what does it mean? It must mean something. And what it must mean is the principle for which many have already laid down their lives, and the principle for which we are called upon to have our voices heard. The Pledge of Allegiance finishes with justice for all. Not justice for U.S. citizens, not justice for the dominant culture, not justice for one group of people. It's justice for all. The Declaration of Independence speaks of inalienable rights. Inalienable rights for all people. Those are things that we are born with as a human being, as a precious human being. And yet, we live at a time where our democracy is challenged, where our identity is attacked, where there is a constant oppression that seems to be inspired by some sort of empowerment of hate that leads us to get into debates that make no sense. When black lives are lost in the street, precious human lives are lost. And to say that those lives matter cause debate. Well, these other lives matter too. The reality is this: lives are precious. And I'm reminded of what my mother said, no dejes que te hagan menos. Don't let them make you less. And when we see lives being made less, and our response is Black Lives Matter, we should join in support of recognizing that Black Lives Matter. No dejes que te hagan menos. Hate has no place, but we must stand up to it. And I am going to invite each and every one of you to put your voice in the room. But not just as an exercise to hear that. I want you to know that all of the historic demonstrations that have taken place were not done so someone could earn fame. Those famous demonstrations, those who were demonstrating had no idea that they would become famous. They did it because it was the right thing to do. They did it because they were fighting for something that was bigger than them as an individual. And that's what our culture is about. We are collectivists. We are a product of people who sacrifice everything for the next generation. Think about the sacrifices that have been made before us, and we are a manifestation of all of those sacrifices. How do we honor that? We honor that by exercising our ability to demonstrate, exercise our ability to put our voice in the room, to be able to say, ya basta. This is enough. Ya basta. So I'm going to ask you all to stand with me right now. And I want you to stand porque vamos a usar los pulmones. We're going to use our lungs. We are going to do our demonstration aquí. Aquí lo vamos a hacer. Please stand. Please stand. Young people, we live in a time today where we witness injustices. And to see how obvious this is, this serious, serious matter, if you have witnessed an injustice, raise your hands. Raise your hands. All hands are up. We are witnessing injustices that demand justice. So I'm going to do a call out for you. A call out for justice, and we will say, justicia. Let me hear you say, 1, 2, 3, justicia. Now, when I put my hands up at the end of the call out, I'll do like this, and we'll wrap up with ya basta. Let's practice. 1, 2, 3, ya basta. Okay, aquí vamos. To end hate, justicia. For the rights of laborers. Justicia. For health care for all. Justicia. For the dreamers. Justicia. For the dreamers who are our heroes. Justicia. For the dreamers who never committed a crime, but who are the best of all of us. Justicia. For those who suffer without rights. Para los que sufren sin derechos. Justicia. Para todos que respeten nuestra cultura. For all to respect our culture. Justicia. Para los latinos que sufren sin representación. Justicia. For Latinos who suffer without representation. Justicia. Para pay equity para todos. Justicia. Para víctimas de human trafficking. Justicia. For victims of domestic violence. Justicia. For victims of hate crime. Justicia. Para todos los jóvenes y su futuro. Para los líderes. Para nosotros. Justicia. Y ya basta. Woo! Last one in. Mira, ya casi terminamos, pero voy a hacer una cosa más porque cada año que me presento aquí termino con un grito